Reading Srimad Bhagavatam 4:28-11. Bhayanamno graho bharta prajvara pratyupaspitaha tahatam purim krishnam bhatuhu priyachikirshaya. Bhayanamnaha, of Bhaya, fear, Agra, Jaha, elder, Bharta, brother, Prajvaraha, name, Prajvara, Pratyupaspitaha, in present there, Taha, set fire, come to that, Purim, city, Krishnam, wholesale, Bhartuhu, his brother, Priyachikirshaya, in order to please. Translation: under the circumstances, the elder brother of Yavana Raj, known as Prajvara, set fire to the city to please his younger brother, whose other name is fear itself. Please respond. Under the circumstances, the elder brother of Yavana Raj, known as Prajvara, set fire to the city to please his younger brother, whose other name is fear itself. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. According to the Vedic system, a dead body is set on fire, but before that there is another fire or fever which is called Prajvara or Vishnujvara. Medical science verifies that when one temperature is raised to 107 degrees, a man immediately dies. The Prajvara or high fever at the last stage of life places the living entity in the midst of blazing fire. Tashyam sandhya mananayam sa paura sa parichittaha kautumbikaha kutumbinyam binya utpatta pyapta sanvayaha. When the city was set ablaze, all the citizens and servants of the king, as well as all family members, sons, grandsons, wives and other relatives were within the fire. King Puranjan thus became very unhappy. Purport: there are many parts of the body, the senses, the limbs, the skin, the muscles, the blood, marrow, etc. And all these are considered here figuratively as sons, grandsons, citizens, and dependents. When the body is attacked by the Vishnujvara, the fiery condition becomes so acute that sometimes one remains in a coma. This means that the body is in such severe pain that one becomes unconscious and cannot feel the miseries taking place within the body. Indeed, the living entity becomes so helpless at the time of death that although unwilling, is forced to give up the body and enter another. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that man may, by scientific advancement, improve the temporary living condition, but he cannot avoid the pangs of birth, old age, disease and death. These are under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the agency of material nature. A foolish person cannot understand the simple fact. Now people are very busy trying to find petroleum in the midst of the ocean. They are very anxious to make provision for future petroleum supply, but they do not make any attempt to ameliorate the conditions of birth, old age, disease and death. Thus a person in ignorance, not knowing anything about his own future life, is certainly defeated in all his activities. Kromajnanatimirandasya gnanam gnanashlakaya chukshudan militam yena tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sarpitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadama Vedati Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghuna Saju Shadvatam Paridam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanatam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneish Shavano Ishtuta Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhabeva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namarom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pascharya Desitarine Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivā Shri Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. So here Puranjan is in its final stage. As we are reading, that he is going to leave his body any moment. So here it's figuratively we describe how what happens. Can see all his parts are practically burning. There's a prajvara, fever that is burning up the body. So in other words, everything has been burnt, because you don't see the fire physically, but the heat is there. Yes? So when that happens, it says here, because they say in their medical vernacular, organ failure. Yeah? Those who are in the medical field, they know, right? It's an organ failure. Yes? So organ failure means that the heat in the body can have a burning up all the organs, and the organs are malfunctioning, and seems like the subtle body is taking out the soul, leaving the body. Technically called death. Nicely explained here also that, and this verse can see here, it says, Vishayabhiniveshena Natmanam Yasmarat Punaha Janturvai Kasyachiddetu Mrityu Atyanta Vishmitihi. Because in the Bhagavad Gita, as Krishna says, Dehinosmi yata deham kaumam yavanam jara tata dehantara prati dhira satrana muhyate. Our body soul passes from boyhood to youth to old age, and similarly at death it passes to another body. Here Krishna also saying the same thing. When the living entity passes from the present body to the next body, which is created by his own karma, he becomes absorbed in the pleasure and painful sensation of the new body, completely forget the experience of the previous body. This total forgetfulness of one previous material identity which comes about for one reason or another is called death. So you see here he says in another way, how the soul is leaving the present body and going to the next body. Because in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna cut short and just say you go from one body to another body. As soon as your body is finished, you go to next body. But here he is saying what happens when the living entity passes from the present body to the next body, which is created by his own karma. In other words, the karma is predetermining your next birth. Karanam gunasangosya sat asat yoni janmasu. You understand? So he becomes absorbed in the pleasure and painful sensation of the new body. So when he takes another body, he gets absorbed in the new body. He forgets all the thing of the, because in the old body suffering like anything. The moment he gets a new body, then he forgets the old body. Sensation and completely forget the experience of the previous body. This total forgetfulness of one's previous material identity, which comes about for one reason or another, technically called death. To that point. So everybody looks very startled, but actually we are going through this many times. We have been through many times. See? So death is very, very painful. It is not something that is what? Enjoyable. It's like you are going to take some prasadam of food. It's very enjoyable, isn't it? Death is not something like that, you know. Prabhu, I am going to take some death. You don't say like that, do you? You're going to face death, and death is very, very, very painful. Because when there is a change of body, the living entity, as is explained here in the purport, that it goes to tremendous pain. You know, I've showed this verse before. I showed this verse before many times. O elevated demigod, at the time of death, severe unbearable pain takes away the consciousness of all living entities who have accepted material body. Don't you know about this pain? So at death there is severe unbearable pain, takes away the consciousness. In other words, he becomes unconscious. He becomes. That's why they feel his pulse, correct? Doctors check the eyes, see the. Yeah, have you seen that? And check the heartbeat. Because he's in severe pain, he's knocked off. That's what happens. Actually, it is explained at death. The first one that the thing will go is the tongue. No more taste, no more to eat, finish. It says, then the eyes, no, the tongue goes later, then the eyes goes, tongue. And finally the thing that will go, the last of the senses, the hearing. That's the last. So you see, it's how so important, because at this stage, when someone is in this kind of condition, it is difficult for, he is practically unconscious, but he is still the what? The hearing sensation. That's why in it association of devotees. It is what? He doesn't need anybody. Class time, don't chant. Class time. Yeah, listen. Chanting and listening, how does it work? So, when you are in this stage and you are practically unconscious, the only thing that is working is the, and if you have somebody around you chanting, don't think it will help you? What's that? Unless you become like Bhishma Dev, I don't know, then I have all glories to you. The Lord personally come and you are lying on the bed of arrows and wow, it's very nice. And still conscious. I mean that I think Bhishmadev, but most of us are in coma, he says here. You're going to? In fact, later on the verses you see, in coma, you'll be in coma. You understand? It is not only that you get pain only in the gross body, in the subtle body also you get pain. Both ways you are in pain. So in this situation when you are practically in a very comatose position, if someone chants and you can hear, how beneficial. Because when you hear Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, then you definitely want to remember. Yes? Huh? Yes or not? No? What do you remember? At least the prasadam was nice. Even if you as Prabhupada said, if you can remember the taste of water and think of Krishna, you are fortunate. You understand? You are fortunate. So in some way, if you can think of Krishna at that time, life is successful. That is explained here. Sorry. And this verse, and that's where you see, terrified, about to die, a man collapsed on his bed, although his voice is faltering and is hardly conscious of what he's saying. Is this the point here? Terrified, about to die, a man collapses on his bed, although his voice is faltering, he hardly is conscious of what he is saying. Practically, his what? Intelligence what? Dearranged. He doesn't, that's why it is mumbling. Have you seen people who are going to go? They are mumbling, you don't know what he's saying. That is the situation. If he utters the holy name of the Supreme Lord, he can be freed from the reaction of his fruity work and achieve the supreme destination. But still, people in the age of Kali will not worship the Supreme Lord. If he can just at that time remember Krishna and say Hare Krishna, that's it. Jai Shri Radha. This is the method of dying. This is the method of dying is going to be a fact. You cannot change it. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, for one who has died, birth is certain. For one who has taken birth, death is certain. Yeah, what is that? Jatasya. Jatasya durvam. Durvam means fact. Jatasya durvam mrityu. Mrityu durvam janmasya. What is that verse? 227. 227. I think this thing must earth it, this touching here and I am getting shocked, This thing has electric shocks. Unless you want me to get shocked to death. I think this has to be earth. No earthing, Here, Jatasya heturu mrityu durvam janma mritasya cha tatsmat pariharerate natvam sochitam arhasi. Very nicely Krishna has said, for one who has taken his birth is sure to die, and after that one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. In other words, Krishna is teaching how to die. Actually, that is the only thing we should be preparing for ourselves. Yes or not? No. No, Prabhu, tomorrow I have to go to work. That's a fact, you have to go to work. But how long will you work? Correct? Yes? Everybody knows that this is the final end, that the body is going to. So an intelligent person will prepare for death. Understand? Yes? Therefore, the method is to chant Krishna's name. That's why it says in Kali Yuga, just now you read, no? The Kali Yuga, nobody will do it. Unfortunately, but still people in the age of Kali will not worship the Supreme Lord. Is that? This is the unfortunate position. They will not want to do it. So when you ask them to chant, oh, no time. No time. Very stubborn. Yes? Yes or not? You chanting? How many rounds you chanting? Weekend you eat more. Weekday you eat less. What was it? Do you eat less on weekday and weekend? You have some quota like that? Then why on chanting you have something? What? Regularize. Yes? You see? No, weekend I will take my spiritual. Suppose you die on a weekday. What happens then? You make an appointment with Yamara, please don't come on the weekdays, I am busy. Is it something like that? You think? So our attitude should be somehow or other we should what? Maximize our hearing and chanting. Because this is what is going to save us. Okay? The chanting. Understand? So the moment you chant, if you chant at the time of death, you're going to die. If you chant, it is explained at that time, you can see what happens. Krishna says here, in Kali Yuga, objects, places and even individual personalities are all polluted. What is Deepavali tomorrow? Is it Deepavali tomorrow? Why is it Deepavali tomorrow? The Almighty Personality of Godhead, however, can remove all such contamination from the life of one who fixed the Lord within his mind. See this thing? That's why they say in Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. Everything is polluted, everything is contaminated. Now they say that the plastic, water specialist, plastic micron you call it, right? Is it? What is the word? Micron. Oh, what? It has gone and entered all the waters of it. Practically the water you are drinking, micropollutants, it has already got plastic inside. And if plastic is consumed in your body, then it is cancer causing. Because we are using plastic in a very loose manner, correct? We are throwing it everywhere. In fact, in the ocean, the size of Europe, amount of plastic is floating in the ocean. And because of the sun breaking it down, the pollutant is gone into the water, and that micropollutant is absorbed by the sun. It goes and forms clouds, and the same thing is coming down as rain. And when you drink that, it is going into your system. That's why it says Kali Yuga, objects, places, even individuals, all polluted. Everything is messed up. Okay? But the secret is the Almighty Personality of Godhead, however, can remove all such contamination from the life of one who fixed the Lord within the mind. The solution is there. What is the solution? That we have to learn how to fix the Lord in our mind. So, in other words, death is there, inevitable. But if we learn how to bring the Lord into our heart, just like this story, what is that verse that, I quoted it in the WhatsApp also. That, what is his name? Agasura, correct? He brought the Lord into his body, yes. And because the Lord went into his body, even for a moment, he became purified, that he went back to Karth. Do you follow this point? I sent that verse to all of you. You have that verse? You know what is that verse? 10, 12, 39. Is the word, yeah. Sakrat means once. You see this verse? If even only once or even by force one brings the form of the personality of Godhead into one's mind, one can attain the supreme salvation by the mercy of Krishna, as did Agasura. What then is to be said of those whose heart the supreme personality of Godhead enters when he appears as an incarnation, or those who always think of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the source of transcendental bliss for all living entities, by whom all illusion is completely removed? This is explained when he went into Agasura, correct? And then the Agasura died, correct? And when he died, he burst over from his head. The soul was hanging around outside. The Lord made it. Who can see the soul? Can anyone see the soul? No. But the Lord made arrangement for everybody to see this scene, so that the soul was hanging there. So when he opened the mouth, when the Lord came out, this soul went into the body of Krishna. Just by how sinful is Agasura? And the Lord went in. Forcefully he brought the Lord into his body. Yes or not? Yes? And let's read it again so you won't forget this verse. If even only once or even by force one brings the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead into one's mind, one can attain the supreme salvation by the mercy of Krishna, as did Agasura. What then is to be said of those whose heart the Supreme Personality of Godhead enters when he appears as an incarnation, or those who always think of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the source of transcendental bliss for all living entities and by whom all illusion is completely removed. I mean, can you imagine this? That's why it says, the moment you bring the Lord into your heart, even once, is it just even? Once. Of course, if you can do once, you can do. This thing is confirmed here. Here also it's confirmed. Here is also confirmed. Same thing is confirmed here also. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is so kind to the conditioned soul that if they call upon Him, if they you should not sit with this leg like this. This is an offense in front of the deity. Or like this, holding your hand. This is all not very good. If they call upon Him by speaking His holy name, even unintentionally or unwillingly, the Lord is inclined to destroy innumerable sinful reactions in their heart. Therefore, when a devotee who has taken shelter of the Lord's lotus feet chants the holy name of Krishna with genuine love, the Lord can never give up the heart of such a devotee. One who has thus bound the Supreme Lord's lotus feet within his heart with the ropes of love is known as Bhagavat Pradhana, the most exalted devotee of the Lord. So even if he brings the Lord into his heart, one. That's why it is the whole program of deity worship is to try to bring our mind and capture the Lord. There we just have to do this. Of course, our mind is very polluted, but purification is to contact the. That's why the chanting is so important. You know, as we chant and more chant, then it is said the Lord will appear. Prabhupada said the Lord will appear in your heart. As Prabhupada said, when you chant properly, immediately you will remember the Lord, correct? And once you remember the Lord, you will remember many other things of the Lord. So your mind is become purified. Is it not? Correct? Anyway, I think you all are remembering the Lord. I'm sure. All of you are very pure. So not only that, you know, it is explained here in another place. You can see how the Lord can see here. If a person hears about, glorifies, meditates upon, worship or simply offers great respect to the Supreme Lord who is situated within the heart, the Lord will remove from his mind the contamination accumulated during many thousands of lifetimes. So in this helpless condition, the Lord removes all the contamination that he has accumulated during thousands of lifetimes. And not only that, just as fire applied to gold removes any discoloration caused by traces of other metal, Lord Vishnu within the heart purifies the minds of the yogis. So the Lord purifies the mind by one's engaging in the process of demigod worship, austerity, breath control, compassion, bathing in holy places, strict vow, charity and chanting of various mantras. One's mind cannot attain the same absolute purification as that achieved when the unlimited personality of Godhead appears within one's heart. It's not the same, you know. Not the same. The whole idea is how to capture. That's why the chanting, only by chanting, only by Hare Nam eva kevalam talau nasteva 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 gatiram. There's no other way, no other way, there's no other way. The chanting. Therefore, O King, endeavor with all your might to fix the Supreme Lord Kesava within your heart. Maintain this concentration upon the Lord, and at the time of death you will certainly attain the supreme destination. So this is our program. Somehow or other we have to capture the Lord in our heart. Even once, even a moment. Not only that it purifies, you see. My dear King, the personality of Godhead is the ultimate controller. He is the supreme soul and supreme shelter of all beings. When meditated upon by those about to die, He revealed to them their own eternal spiritual identity. This is a very important point. You understand? In other words, He reveals our original position. He reveals our original position. So when you know your original position, will you be worried about your death? Will you be worried? You know what you are. Will you be worried? Tell me. I will be worried I do not know. Then I see my relatives all here, I will also be crying, dying, crying. I read so many verses on that, correct? Yes? The attached householder to see his relatives all around, right? Then he gets overwhelmed, my dear wife, how she is going to handle, right? All these things play in the mind. But the moment you chant, Krishna purifies everything. When meditated upon by those who are about to die, He revealed to them their own eternal spiritual identity. Now you are going to die like Puranjan, or are you going to die like a devotee? Puranjan. Devotee. Yes. So now we have to become a devotee. By all means, we have to become a part-time. Full-time. Part-time. If you want to cook something, you must be what? Put the fire on the roof and cook the thing in the pot below? You cannot. So sorry, you put the pot upstairs and you put the fire here. Can you cook? Yeah, you can cook, but I don't know how long it will take. Yes? Indirect. Yes? It's what? Indirect. If you want to cook something, you must cook how? Directly. And indirectly doing, that is not even recommended. Here, you see here. And this verse, you see here. Kriyate Bhagavati Adaha. This word Adaha. This is spoken. Don't put the hand like this. See here the word Adaha means what? Directly or completely. Correct? Now you see the translation here, Prabhupada is saying, after performing sacrifices, sometimes a person engaged in fruitive activity customarily offers the result to Vishnu. But he says here, Bhagavati Adaha, one must directly offer everything to Vishnu. This is called sannyasa, not merely nyasa. A tridandi sannyasi carries the danda, three dandas, signifying kaya, namo, vakya, body, mind and words. All these should be offered to Vishnu, and then one can begin devotional service. Fruity workers first perform some pious activity and then formally or officially offer the result to Vishnu. The real devotee, however, first offers surrender to Krishna with body, mind and words, and then uses body, mind and words for the service of Krishna as Krishna desires. See, so we should learn how to do our devotional service what? Directly. Yeah? The indirect, and Prahlad is not recommending that. You follow? So, okay, what to do? I have to associate with people who are doing direct service. Then yes, benefit. You understand? The devotee should always try to do his activities directly. Then yes. Because at the time of death, as I explained, is excruciating pain, you are unconscious. Yes? In so much difficulty, right? Your memory is distorted, bewildered, yes? Yes? You know, it's very, very precarious position. In fact, King Kulasekara, he's saying like, I want to die now. My mind is healthy, I am controlling it, I am thinking of you. My mind is going to the stem of your lotus feet. I want to die now, because my mind is. I don't want to die when I am old, then everything is disarranged and I cannot think of you, so many problems. See how he is praying. See? But people who don't want to die. When death comes, they are trying to take advantage of so many modern medicine and doctors and this and that and second opinion and third opinion, and you know, they don't want to die. So they are two different consciousness. So as devotees, we should always be understanding this aspect of death, and we should be preparing ourselves. Preparing, I am going to die. Krishna, you please save me. So devotees are saying this, like this, the prayer. Let this temporary body be burned to ashes. Let the air of life be merged with the total air. Now, O my Lord, please remember all my sacrifices, because you are the ultimate beneficiary. Please remember all that I have done for you. See how the devotee is praying. He is not praying with third opinion and what? Fourth opinion, I am going to see another dog. You see how he says, let this temporary body be burnt to ashes, and let the air of life be merged with the total air. Now, O my Lord, please remember all my sacrifices, because you are the ultimate beneficiary. Please remember all that I have done for you. You have not done anything there now? You have not done anything there now? What? Yes or no? Actually, you cannot do anything. Until you have a guru, you cannot do anything. You understand? All your devotional service, if you are not connected to guru, it becomes useless. Have to have a spiritual master. You understand? Yeah? So therefore, you see how the devotee is thinking and praying. Yeah. Devotees are not naive, they don't know what's going on, they should know. In fact, it says here, Materialists are generally very attached to their present bodily comforts and to the bodily comforts they expect in the future. Therefore, they are always absorbed in thoughts of their wives, children, and wealth, and are afraid of giving up their bodies, which are full of stool and urine. If a person engaged in Krishna consciousness, however, is also afraid of giving up his body, what is the use of his having labor to study the Shastra? It is simply a waste of time. You understand? In other words, coming to Krishna consciousness means we have to be ready for this. You have to be what? Preparing, yes? But you also are like any other guy simply crying, oh, death is coming. Yeah? Then, what is the use of you studying? Yeah? See, why all these verses are spoken in 12.3, this chapter, why? Because Parikshit Maharaj is going to die. And Sukadev Goswami is preparing him. So you remember the Lord. You understand? You please take shelter of the Lord. Everything will be adjusted. Don't worry. Yeah? You understand? So actually it is for us. We don't know what to do, what not to do. Right? So, the death is coming, we are crying, we should be very ready. We should be what? Should be? Someone is saying, Prabhupada was leaving the body and the Prabhupada opened the mouth and they gave Charnamrita. Prabhupada takes water. But then the other person, you see his tongue is moving. Because his tongue is moving and he's chanting Hare Krishna. Although he is pretty much, but his tongue is what? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Tongue is, when he commented. So I was hearing that. It's amazing how Prabhupada was. Although he seeing like this, but he is constantly chanting the name of Krishna. So that is the only grace, the only thing we need to learn. How to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Until the time of Ante Narayana. I can sit here and give big class, but my expertise in this class will be seen when I bhajan karo. What is that? The time of death, yes. What did I do? How are we doing? See? Understand? So we have to be prepared, ready. That no, I am always holding the lotus feet of Krishna, and praying to Krishna to save me. Yeah, like this. But I also start crying like this, then this finish. Of course, you cry for Krishna is one thing. You cry for other things. So therefore, we should be very ready, and we should be prepared to take the test. Just like Sukadev Goswami asked Parikshit Maharaj, is there anything else you want me to tell you? Is there, I show you, you can see. Is there anything else you need? Huh? Maybe it's in 5. Give me a minute. Very interesting. Let me read this one. Yeah? Deepavali is coming. Huh? How to get it out? Okay, gone. See here how he is speaking, Sukadeva Goswami. See, "O king, give up this animalistic mentality of thinking I am going to die. Unlike the body, you have not taken birth. There is not a time in the past when you did not exist and you are not about to be destroyed." See how he is saying? You give up this nonsense, you are going to die, you are going to die. You forget it. You are never not going to die. You will never die. Because the soul never dies. See how he is preaching to his. Right? This is here. You will not take birth again in the form of your sons and grandsons, like a sprout taking birth from a seed and then generating a new seed. Rather, you are entirely distinct from this material body and its paraphernalia, in the same way that fire is distinct from its fuel. Not the body. Nothing to do with the body. In a dream, one sees his own head being cut off, and thus understand that his actual self is standing apart from the dream experience. Similarly, while awake, one can see that his body is a product of the 5 material elements. Therefore, it is to be understood that the actual self, the soul, is distinct from the body. It observes and is unborn and immortal. The soul has nothing to do with this body. When a pot is broken, the portion of sky within the pot remains as the element sky, just as before. In the same way, when the gross and subtle bodies die, the living entity within resumes his spiritual identity. See how he is explaining? The moment this body dies, this soul resumes his spiritual identity. Material bodies, qualities and activities of spirit soul are created by material mind. The mind is itself created by illusory potency of Supreme Lord, and thus the soul assumes material existence. A lamp functions as such only by the combination of its fuel, vessel, wick and fire. Similarly, material life based on the soul's identification with the body is developed and destroyed by the working of the material goodness, passion and ignorance, which are constituent elements of the body. The soul within the body is self-luminous and separate from the visible gross body and invisible subtle body. It remains as the fixed basis of changing bodily existence, just as the ethereal sky is the unchanging background of material transformation. Therefore, the soul is endless and without material comparison. The soul is different from the body. Right? Oh, my dear king, by constantly meditating upon the Supreme Lord Vasudeva and by applying clear and logical intelligence, you should carefully consider your true self and how it is situated within the material body. See, only by meditating on Krishna, you can come to the understanding that you are not the body. He says here, if you don't come to Krishna consciousness, you cannot understand that you are not this body. That's not possible. The snake bird Takshaka sent by the curse of the Brahmana will not burn your true self. Agents of death will never burn such a master of the self as you, for you have already conquered all dangers on your path back to Godhead. He is given the assurance by his spiritual master that you are going home back to Godhead. See? The Takshaka cannot burn you, don't worry. Nothing can affect you, don't worry. See? Yeah? You should consider I am non-different from the Absolute Truth, the Supreme Abode and the Absolute Truth, and that the Absolute Truth, the Supreme Destination is not different from me. Thus resigning yourself to the Supreme Soul who is free from all material misidentification, you will not even notice the snake-bite Takshaka when you approach with his poison fangs and bites your food. You will see your dying body or the material world around you because you will have realized yourself to be separate from them. You see how it's giving the what? Confidence, the assurance. You are not this body. When he bite you, you will see the body is going, but you are going another place. You understand? This is spiritual master. Spiritual master means what? He gives what? Confidence. Understand? If the spiritual master sit and cry with you, then what kind of spiritual master is that? Yeah? I remember, I said this story before. I was in America in 1983, I think. So it was, actually it was Radhastami days. So this boy, he came, because I was in Houston, and Houston is the place in St. Luke Hospital where all they do those days, and they do only, they don't have the stent, you know, they have, like now, they have bypass, you know. So all the days are all bypass. So St. Luke was like one of the top hospitals for bypass, you know. So this boy brought his father, and you know they're going to go for bypass. And he came to the temple in the evening. I used to see him, and I say, preaching to him, talk to him. Is there anything you need my help? You can call me. So sure enough, about 4:30 in the morning, about 4 o'clock like this, he was calling me and said, look, can you come to this hospital? I said, what happened? No, my father, you know, can you come? His father was actually in the deathbed, you know, he's come. So I said, can I come after the arati? No, can you come? So okay, I agreed, I'll come. Of course, at that time I couldn't drive, so I asked one of the devotees to help me to take me to this hospital. So I went, and he drove actually the wrong way. He was staying there. In the morning he became a little disarranged, and he went, and finally we went to the hospital. So when we went into the hospital, the boy was crying, and beside him was a priest, you know, he was also crying, you know. Both were crying, you know. I went inside and I said, look, oh, you are late, you know. I said, what am I late? No, my father is gone, you know. I said, no, your father today, you know, is such an auspicious day. Radharani's birthday, and your father had died today, you know. I wish I also will die today. What? He was shocked when I said, what? He stopped crying. I said, what? I said, yeah, this is such an auspicious day to die. Your father had died today. He is so fortunate. Then I look at the priest and say, we have a better philosophy. You know. He said, yes. I mean, you understand, this is the fact. You see here, who got philosophy like this? Have you heard philosophy like this? Forget about dying. I'm going to die. When you say forget about dying, what are you talking about? You're not going to die. You see how he's speaking? Have you paid attention to the verses I said? Right? You understand? So that is the spiritual training. And unless you come to Krishna consciousness, it's not going to happen, it cannot take place. See how? You will see your dying body in the material world because you have realized yourself to be separate from them. But we have to understand, we are not the body. That's why not the body. We are not the body. You follow? Then if we want our rights, women, they want their rights. I don't know the men, they want their rights. Animal, they want. This is all and some nonsense. So this is what? Pure nonsense. You have only one right you have. What is that? What is the only right you have? Yamuna Acharya is praying. The only one right I want, to be an eternal servant of. I only want that right. To be a what the servant of? Jive re swarupa hoy, Krishna re nitya das. The living entity's only position is to be the servant of the. There is no other thing to do, no other thing. Gopi in Bhata Padakamalayo, dāsa, 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 anu, dāsa. This is the position. So we have to understand these things, and this cannot be understood if we don't have the mercy of the spiritual master. See, now he is asking you. Beloved King Parichit, I have narrated to you the topics you originally inquired about the pastime Lord Hari, the Supreme Soul of the universe. Now, what more do you wish to hear? So, what more you want to hear now? In other words, Sukadev Goswami has trained Parichit Maharaj sufficiently how to leave the body. As I say, forget you are going to die. You see how the spiritual master Chester is going to die any moment, Prabhu. And he is telling you, finish the face. Hey, come on, stop it, stop it. You are not going to die. Finish. And someone dying, you speak like that. I remember one guy died and I spoke, said, you don't need to cry. What kind of class is giving? He said, don't cry. I got into trouble. I got into trouble in that class because I said don't cry. Can you imagine that? You understand? Yeah, of course he passed away already, but to tell you not to cry for that, after dying you tell him don't cry is a big sin. Understand? But here you see, how he is sufficiently trained. Right? Now what more do you wish to hear? Yeah? What do you want to hear anymore? This is the end of this topic. This is the end. Then he sees here, he wakes up and he goes. See, then he goes. After hearing all that was narrated to him by the self-realized Equipo Sukadev, the son of Vyasadeva, Maharaj Parichit humbly approached the lotus feet. Bowing his head down upon the sage feet, the king who had lived his entire life under the protection of Lord Vishnu folded his hand in supplication and spoke as follows. Parichit Maharaj said, I have now achieved the purpose of my life because a great and merciful soul like you has shown such kindness to me. You have personally spoken to me this narration of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, who is without beginning or end. I do not consider it all amazing that great souls such as yourself, whose mind are always absorbed in the infallible personality of Godhead, show mercy to foolish conditioned souls, tormented as we are by problems of material life. I have heard from you this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a perfect summary of all the Puranas and which is perfectly described the Supreme Lord Uttama Sloka. O my Lord, I have now no fear of Takshaka or any other living being or even of repeated death, because I have absorbed myself in that purely spiritual absolute truth which you have revealed and which destroys all fear. Is confident. Now, okay, no more problem. I am confident. Even I have to take repeated death, no problem. But you see this story today, Puranjan, he is completely what? The word is what? Bhayanaka. He is frightened. He is frightened. Here, he is completely straight. I am ready. I am. This is how we should train our mind. Yes? What? No? What? Prabhu, nice lecture. Practically, that sometimes they say like this when we are speaking to somebody, no, don't lecture me, you are only good in lecturing. Huh? What? Yeah, all lecturing, all expert, but practically I don't see. This is not practical. So, Sukadev, Maharaj is a very nice talk, but practically, practically I am going to die. Did he say like this? Did he speak like this? Tell me. Huh? Same thing with Krishna and Arjuna. Krishna was lecturing him, yeah? Krishna, stop your lecturing, I am going to die now. Did he say like that? Understand? So that process of hearing is so important. That's why I cannot give any instruction to some guy whose brain is, angry or worked up. It's difficult. So wait to cool down, talk some sense. Understand? So this hearing is so important because the hearing will instill the faith and give direction, give knowledge. So how you can engage your intelligence very intelligently to control the mind? Because the mind, as Arjuna says, everybody is saying, Krishna also saying, impossible to control. This mind is, let's be honest, we all are sitting here. Why? Why we are sitting here? What? Because we listen to our crazy mind. Because what? What? We listen to our crazy mind. See? Correct? So we have to learn how to correct this thing. How to come out of this thing. Firmly take hold, shelter of the instruction of the spiritual master, chant 16 rounds, follow the 4 principles, stick in the association of devotees, and I don't think there should be any problem. There should not be any problem. They will stick to the program. Yes. I saw my father passed away, I saw my mother passed away, I saw my wife passed away. I saw all. I asked the last question to my wife, are you thinking of Krishna? That was my last conversation with my wife. And she nodded the head like this, because she didn't speak. And the way she nodded, I was ashamed. I'm not even thinking of So that confidence was giving me confidence. Wow, she's ready. So we should, all are going to go. All of us are going to go. Undoubtedly. But not to come back is the high point. So let us, I think I spoke amply. Is there anything I missed out? Explain this point thoroughly. I think we should work for this. Yes? Any questions or comments on these points raised? What? Who is that asking? She's doctor.
What happens in the case of near-death experience? Why is living entity made to come back into the same body?
I didn't get to hear.
What happens in the case of a near-death experience? Why is the living entity made to come back into the same body? Because you explained in the beginning that the body will go and take another body, that forgetfulness is there. That time she asked.
So what happens if a person has a near-death experience and he comes back again? That the time is not finished. So Krishna is giving a person some realization, what happens if you are going to die. Yeah? You're about to die, somehow or other, change your plans, okay, never mind, give you a chance. There was a story, I don't know, this is from Godema actually. The one disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta, he went wayward, He was not doing his spiritual program seriously. So he died. So Yamadutas came, they took him to Yamalok. And there Yamaraj saw him and he said, "Hey, you are so and so. I know you are a disciple of a very, very strong devotee of Krishna, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Why you are not taking up spiritual life very seriously? So you have come here. Why you have not done that? All right, never mind. I will give you another chance. You go back this time and you better be serious." So he came back near death and he spoke this whole story. There is a popular story in Gaudiya Maharaj. He became very serious. Ajamil. Ajamil also, classic is there. We're going to die. Right? Immediately he packed up his bag, no bags anyway, straight went to Haridwar. Left his house in Kanpur and went straight to Haridwar. Then he packed up and went. Wait, 80 years old, correct? Because he saw, wow, it's going to be serious. So we should also be very serious in coming to temple, associating with devotees. It's all a purpose to create that impression in our mind. To create that, like this. Like this, I think. This is the verse. My dear Vyasa, even though a devotee of Lord Krishna sometimes falls down somehow or other, he certainly does not undergo material existence like others, fruitive workers. Because a person who has once relished the taste of the lotus feet of the Lord can do nothing but remember that ecstasy again and again. You understand? Somehow or other, coming to the temple, something, understand, that attract your mind. Always be thinking of it again and again. And especially at the time of death, if you can think of that, that's it. As our Prabhupada said, somehow or other we attract to any part of Krishna. Fortunately. You understand this point? So we should learn how to maximize our life here and become more Krishna conscious. How to? Just have to come, get in touch with Krishna, chant with devotees, kirtan, prasadam, something. All right. So we'll. Anything else?
Prabhuji, if a person should be treated with a surgery, should go or not?
Person to what?
If a person should be treated with a surgery, should he go or not?
Well, if you have to go for surgery, why don't you go? Don't it save you? What's the problem? Huh? Of course, they will put you anesthesia and you don't know what's going on. That is a calculated risk. How serious it's going to be that you have to decide. If you think you're going to die, then better don't go. You die naturally. If you think it's not so life-threatening, then I don't see any problem. No, the main thing is to take shelter of Krishna and the spiritual master. Just like Bhishma Dev case, he surrendered to Krishna and he was going to die, and somewhere in the Kurukshetra, somewhere lying down there. Krishna is in where? Where is it? Yeah? He is there in Hastinapur. Understand? And he is passing away in Kurukshetra. Yeah? So you see how, when he is going to die, they all came to see, and Krishna came. That's why I say that at the time of death, if you are fortunate, Krishna will incarnate in your mind. You are fortunate. How to be that fortunate? Do your devotional service. Right? If you do your devotional service in a very what way, sincere manner, then why Krishna will not come and hug? Krishna says, Kauntaya pratijana hai, ma bhakta pranashati. So that assurance is already there. But we have to become a devotee. That's the qualification. You understand? Yeah? So that's what we have to train our mind now. How to serve Krishna. That what Bhaktisiddhanta used to say. You should work in such a way, not that you want to see Krishna, you should work in such a way that Krishna wants to see you. That should be our dedication. Somehow or other we are attracted to Krishna. And Krishna is. So we should try. This whole program is to strengthen our mind. The whole thing is to make us strong. Yes, yes. He knew that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going to disappear. Can you? Then he said, no, I don't want to see that, it's too painful for me. I want to go now. And said, I'll come back tomorrow. So Haridas Thakur, what do you want? Oh, my desire is to leave the body. Alright, then he started Kirtan. He got to see the Lord, and then he left looking at the body of the Lord and chanting. And so that's why capturing the Lord in the heart is so important, that you're always thinking. This is called Shakta. A Shakta means getting attracted to the form of the Lord. Now deity worship is not for fun, no, nice decoration. People take pictures. Huh? They take pictures, yeah, very nice. Someone wrote, I'm sick and tired of putting all my Krishna pictures everywhere. I want to forget this. Yeah? You're writing like this. Tell me what is in the brain. Right? What is in the brain? Can you even think of speaking like this? Something wrong? Yes? Yes or no? One person, he was chanting 16 rounds, he was in our temple, chanting 16 rounds in the time of death. Time of death. He said, I don't want to chant anymore, I don't want to see all this. He put some other movie or something, my mind is. I said, what is the use of all this? He died at 36 years old or something, because he had blood cancer in the family. He was in Balestier Road, I remember. No, I don't want any more Krishna, I don't want nothing. What? Come on.
He was frustrated.
Frustrated, because Krishna never saved him. Understand, Prabhu, don't think these are all jokes. I am giving you, experiences. It's why when you get negative things, this is how Krishna tests. You are so interested, you are praying, oh, why Krishna never gives? Then you become totally what? Worked out. So when at the time of death, oh, why not say, you know what I mean? I don't want any more Krishna. I just forget about this Krishna thing already. This is how dangerous it is. I'm relating you an experience. I put some Karni movie, I want to see this. Yeah? Who? Krishna.
1,000 years he was chanting, he never gave up. Even though for 1,000 years the Lord never came, continuously was
yeah, if you were in Gajendra position, forget it, Lotus or what, no, what is Lord, useless. I'm calling and calling, he's not coming. What's the point? Like Tamil movie, why you became a stone now? They say always like that, the movie. You're just a stone, you're not coming. Devotee is crying, you're not coming? What is it? Tamil high point, and suddenly the deity breaks open, and then, yeah, it's all very nice movies, right? Understand? The real test is that if the Lord is not coming, whether you are still, devoted or not, that's the test. You understand? That's the real test. And we all are going through this test. Don't think, this guy failed, we're all laughing at him. What about me? Yeah, I just shout at you a little bit only, you don't want to come to the temple. Don't say so many things. Don't talk so many, I just a little bit stern with you. Temple president, she not smiling at all. That's all. What to speak about death? Huh? I am just chastising you to correct. You won't see me also. Avoid. Go to 4th floor, 5th floor, 4th floor, every floor. Never want to see me at all. I said, what happened? You understand? This much already we see. Now you talk about death. Oh, happily you will embrace. No, you step over the head of death. Huh? Let's be. Come on, you have to understand how much it is to smash your false ego. And that is what is counts at the time of death. You understand how much you are prepared to humble? Yes. That is a different story. You are going to play a false ego game, that's going to be bad news. Bad news. You understand? And it's going to be seen. Every one of us is going to see. It's not only I'm going to die, you're not going to die. Every one of us. Until we get ourselves, our act together like this, I am ready. I am prepared. You understand? Let anything come, I am prepared. I firmly catch hold of the lotus feet and I am praying to all the Vaishnavas to please chant how he is praying. That's a test. All of us have to go through. Not that only we go, everyone. Bird, beast, everybody. So let's be very honest about this. Yes? Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Grantarashnu Bhagavatam ki. Gopāl ki. Go Premanand.